AITAH for not supporting another ND woman. I, 28F, made a new friend, 26F, who we'll call Laura, about 6 months ago. I joined a trauma group back then and this girl and I met there. She got friendly with me very quickly and she made it clear it was because we are both autistic, something I discussed in my introduction, and she felt like we should be friends because of that. So we started hanging out occasionally and I'll be honest, it wasn't great for me. We have two very different ND personalities. While I'm shy, don't like loud noises and do not like physical contact, Laura is extroverted, very expressive, touchy and loud. In just the first few weeks we had to have several talks about boundaries and how I didn't like touching because she kept trying to grab me and hug me out of the blue and it upset me. Now I have another friend, 29M, who we'll call Colt. Colt and I met years ago and are very good friends. Colt isn't autistic but our personalities are very similar and we are both asexual, so we have that to talk about. He will come over and we will literally just play video games and not talk for hours. About 2 weeks ago I was having coffee with Laura and made the mistake of bringing up how me and Colt were gonna hang out at my house that weekend. Laura started pouting, asking why she had never met any of my other friends and insisted that she join us. I hesitated, the reason being Colt is very antisocial, to the point he really just barely tolerates everyone with only a few exceptions. I'm not going to get into details but Colt has his own trauma, and it is the reason why he now identifies as asexual. I told Laura she could come but that it was very important that she keep her hands to herself with Colt at all times. She seemed confused but agreed. Anyway, the weekend came and things immediately started going wrong. When Laura came over, the first thing she did was sit down on the couch inches from Colt, who did not look impressed, and start talking endlessly despite Colt barely responding and trying to move away. I told her to give him some space and she did, but things only got worse from there. An hour or so in, Laura started pretty obviously flirting with him and I could tell Colt was starting to get pissed. He was subtly insulting her, which I know is not great but it's a defense mechanism he uses for when he's feeling triggered. At that point I pulled Laura aside and into the kitchen and asked her if she knew she was flirting with Colt. She told me she did and I told her she needed to stop. She didn't take me seriously at first, and started talking about how Colt was really cute and she thought his soreness was attractive, whatever the heck that's supposed to mean. I told her that Colt didn't want a relationship, he was asexual and she needed to drop it. She didn't seem like she believed me at first, but agreed to stop flirting. For the next couple of hours things went fine. Laura didn't stop talking but she stayed on the other side of the couch and we just played video games. Then I left the room to go to the bathroom. It must have been only like 5 minutes but I came running back in when I heard shouting. When I come in, Laura is sitting on the floor in a sobbing mess and Colt is standing next to the couch looking really angry. I asked them both what happened and Laura explained that she had jokingly sat on Colt's lap and he had pushed her off and onto the floor. Colt didn't say anything, and I could tell he was about to have a meltdown by the look on his face and his body language, so I told Laura to GTFO. She runs out of the apartment and I help Colt calm down. Later on, after Colt had gone home, I texted Laura and told her that what she did was really uncool and that she had really upset Colt. She responded in all caps telling me that she didn't know that sitting on his lap would upset him and that I was an R for kicking her out when it was her who had been abused by Colt. I responded telling her that she was not the victim here, that she had crossed the line despite me explicitly telling her not to do so, and Colt's reaction was a trauma response. She responded to that saying that I know she has issues with understanding social cues and understanding personal boundaries, and she said I was an R for not supporting another friend and another ND woman. Personally I think that's crap. I told her several times, straight up, don't touch Colt. Colt made it very clear he didn't want to be touched. But still, I'm not sure if she has a point about me being the R for not supporting her, as we do have issues with these type of things. AITA